Hello friends, if you are appearing for the custom broker license examination, then this video is for you, as we are going to provide you with very valuable tips to clear the exam. At the end of the video, we are going to introduce to you a ready reckoner to help you succeed in the examination. The custom broker license examination is a very competitive exam, and these tips will assist you in your journey to success. To start with, let us first consider the nature of the examination. As you would know, the eligibility conditions enlist postgraduate qualifications of diverse fields, be it LLB, MBA, CA, but with no reference to the custom related experience. This implies that the exam is of very generalized nature and gives equal chance to each and every candidate from any background. So all candidates have an equal chance. Next, considering the syllabus, we note that the scope of the core syllabus is very well defined as articulated in Regulation 6.7 of Cblr 2018 regulations. The implications of this is that the syllabus is not a generalized or a spread out course, thereby allowing an opportunity to prepare in a focused, goal driven manner. Next, the nature of the examination is primarily about the custom procedures and is not at all about memorization. It is important to appreciate that the customs authorities are conducting this examination to select candidates who can act as an intermediary between importer, exporter, and custom authorities for clearance of goods in accordance with the custom provisions. It is the requirement of the custom authorities to select people who can put custom provisions on the ground. This makes the examination totally application oriented and not about memorization. And to help you in this, we suggest that when you are reading or trying to appreciate the provisions, focus on the understanding on a few what, whys, and wheres. Firstly, let us talk when you are studying the provision, focus on what that provision is wanting to do. What is the activity which is associated under that? Next, why part. Why is what is the purpose of activity? What will that activity achieve? Next, the whole custom act is very position place centric. The authorities involved, place involved, whether that action is to be done at the ports, or whether at the custom house, whether at the coastal land, or whether if it is some sort of a remedial action, whether at the settlement commission or at a higher appellate authority. So what, why, where is very important. And the next thing which of predetermined importance is that all activities of the customs are time bound. So hence when the time period becomes very important. And obviously the activity is to be under which provision, chapter and section of which act, whether it is to be done under Customs Act or under the Customs Tariff Act. So summarizing, the trying to understand the provision means that you try to focus on what, why, where, when, and under which section that activity provision is to be made operational on. Next, the thing to appreciate is that this examination is conducted by NACIN, which is the training authority for the custom officers. The orientation of the NACIN is to train their custom officer with the latest developments. And since they are involved in framing of the questions or preparing the examination, it is very likely that they would focus on the latest developments, notification, policy changes, procedures, and on top of it all, the technological upgradation steps which are taking place at the Customs House and under the Act. And obviously, the rules and regulations. So hence focus on all these things which are latest, and it is likely that the examination orientation would be very much focused on that. Read the syllabus with the specific provisions corresponding to rules and regulations. What this means is that standalone reading of the provisions will not get you much, because as we mentioned that it is more application oriented, how that provision is to be implemented, and those implementation details are mentioned under the rules and regulation. So read specific provisions with corresponding rules and regulation for complete understanding. Next, it would be beneficial if the handbook of procedures is also read along with, because it details on the procedures and schemes. And last but not the least, read the Allied Act. The list of all the Allied Acts is given under on the customs website, and since each act would be very big in itself, at least focus on custom related part of the Allied Act. After this nature of examination, we must appreciate the exam pattern for fully strategizing our tactics to handle the examination. The time is for 3 hours, that means 180 minutes, in which 150 questions is to be answered. Each correct answer gives us 3 marks. There is a negative marking. Each incorrect gives us -1 marks. And we have to score minimum 270 marks. That means 90 questions have to be absolutely right. So what is the suggested approach? We give 1 minute for each question. That makes it 150 minutes for 150 questions. That leaves you with 30 minutes. You use those 30 minutes for revision, thinking, and attempting left out questions. Psychologically, it is very important that you be calm and prioritize your questions. By prioritizing, we mean that you answer those questions for which you are confident, and leave confusing and questions which you are not knowing anything about to be attempted at the end. Another suggestion we are making is that reading out, as is usually suggested, that going through the question paper at the start. In this case, reading out 150 questions is going to take a lot of time, and since we are time stressed, we suggest that you read and attempt questions in the batch of 10 questions at a time. Take first 10 questions, read them out, then attempt those 10 questions, then shift on to the next batch of the 10 questions. It will save you a lot of time. It is advisable to take your time when responding to questions which you believe you understand. Since it is application oriented questions, sometimes we tend to, under the time pressure, we tend to feel that we know the question, but the intent of the customs authorities is to test your knowledge, and they slightly modify the answer to that question. So hence it is very important to grasp the essence of the question, what the questionnaire, what the examiner is wanting to ask. Don't be in a hurry. Next, be aware of the trick questions, especially when they are asking for the false or not to type of questions. Read them twice to understand what the question is being meant to answer. And obviously, we would very much suggest that do not try to cheat, because it is a waste of precious time. The guy adjacent to you is also under pressure. You never know what the type of answer you are getting from him. Next, do not try to take breaks. It is a waste of time and disturbs your thought process. If you are feeling the pressure, we suggest that you take 2 minutes on your seat itself, close your eyes, and get your concentration back. Lastly, take time out to revise. Control the urge to mark left out questions to cover any shortfall risk. It is seen empirically that candidates under the time pressure and under the stressed out condition, make the mistakes of attempting all questions in the last 15 minutes, even if they are not knowing the answers to those questions. That could spoil the result. Negative marking becomes very predominant. It could turn your pass into fail. At least you need to appreciate that 269 is for failing. You need to get 270. And if you are passing, but by this hurried attempt you get negative marking, then the whole exercise turns futile. Refrain from attempting questions from which you cannot eliminate any 4 options. So in this case, what we are suggesting is that if you have some leftover questions, don't attempt the questions for which you don't know anything about. Attempt only those questions in which you can at least eliminate 2 of the questions, 2 of the options. Because If you are arbitrarily attempting the question, the probability of getting a question correct is merely 25%. And probability of getting two arbitrarily answered questions is only 6%. But you also get -2 marks on top of that. That makes things very much worse. But there may be situations when you find out, when you feel that you are not going to get those passing 270 marks, and then you are forced to attempt the leftover questions. In that case, under no circumstances attempt arbitrary marking. Choose those questions in which two options can be eliminated, so that you have the choice of you have the choice of making an educated guess on the remaining two. The probability then becomes 50% of getting it correct. So as we mentioned at the start of the video, that we are going to introduce to you, to help you clear the examination, a ready reckoner. We are bringing to you the second edition of the well appreciated book, Custom Broker Exam, a ready reckoner with Customs Act and procedures. The first edition of this ready reckoner was very successful, and it helped many of the students get successfully to clear the examination. This book is now available on Amazon, and we would appreciate if you have a look at it. This book is designed to serve as a comprehensive guide and reference for the complete Cblr syllabus, encompassing significant allied acts. The whole course it has tried to cover, so that you don't have to spread out your valuable time. It is crafted in a clear and accessible manner, ensuring ease of understanding, which is the backbone for you to attempt this examination. The content is organized to emphasize key points on each topic, with potential question areas distinctly highlighted. By this, we mean to say is that all the topics which have been covered, the significant portions are marked out, but there could be some probable questions which are related to that topic. They have been boldly highlighted. This book will be a one-step guide reckoner covering the Cblr syllabus, including important allied acts. So the whole comprehensive coverage of the syllabus is there. It is written in a very easy and understanding way, wearing out the complications which you go through the direct reading of the Customs Act or the Customs Tariff Act of any of the other allied acts. Content is presented with important points of the topic and probable questions indicated by bold highlighted. This book aims to cover as a comprehensive guide for all candidates, helping them to optimize their time and support them on their path to success. We hope that our tips are going to help you in making a comprehensive strategy to prepare yourself and guide yourself in a very strategic manner. The Ready Reckoner is available on Amazon, and if you go through this book, I am pretty sure that you will be able to clear the examination very successfully. Thanking you. Thank you.